Hi, this is Malika and I'm going to share with you different variations on crawling on all fours that I like to do with my baby, but also for general fitness. So the first one is just crawling on all fours. Nice and easy. It might seem simple, but actually, if you think about driving the crown of your head forward, there's a lot of power there. You can also think about driving your tail backwards. So simply crawling forwards and back with care, attention to sensation, and breathing is a wonderful way to warm up the hips, the shoulders, the wrists, and the knees and feet. So number one is just crawling. Number two is crawling with your knees up. So you can float your knees and try not to lift your hips up too high, but you can crawl forwards and back just with your knees off the floor. That's number two. Number three is another version of crawling, but it's lower down, it's the army crawl. So you can start with your hands, so your forearms on the ground, even your hands and fists maybe. One knee comes up, and then you try to push. You tuck your toes under as well. And you go from side to side, and then you can crawl backwards. So the idea is you're trying to stay as low as possible while you're crawling, army crawl. You make up your own variation, if you like. Army crawl. Another one that is fun to do is the lizard crawl. So for me, it's like the army crawl, but with the knees off the ground. I cross the leg behind me, I bring the knee up to the elbow. I take a step. Cross the leg behind me. I bring the knee up to the elbow. I take a step. Cross the leg behind me. Bring the knee up to the elbow. Take a step. To reverse, I step back with my arm. I step back with my arm. I step back with my arm. Yeah? Lizard crawl. Cross the leg behind you. Cross the leg behind you, knee to the elbow. So that's our lizard crawl. You should be feeling quite warm if you're trying these out. The last one is actually not in my book, but I'm going to share it with you. It's basically a downward dog walk. So if you're familiar with downward dog, you tuck your toes under, hands under the shoulders, and lift your hips up to the sky. And just hang here for a moment. It's a nice stretch. Lifting the hips up, and then we're just going to start walking with our feet and following with our hands. This is an amazing cross-lateral stretch, I find, especially if you keep the head hanging. You can walk forward then, walking forward with the feet and letting the hands follow, or walking backward with the feet and letting the hands follow. Take your time here. This is a wonderful stretch as well as an integrative cross-lateral walking situation. And then when you're ready, breathe and take a rest. Okay, so those are 4 kinds, or maybe it was 5 I showed you. Crawling, army crawl, knees floating crawl, lizard walk, and downward dog crawl. 5 different ways that you can integrate crawling into your movement practice. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.